Have you ever felt like your life is full yet completely empty at the same time you've achieved the things you once thought would make you happy, but now they barely hold your attention like a social media star with millions of followers feeling invisible in their own life? Why does this happen to all of us? Let me ask you this. Remember something you were really excited about, your dream job, a major achievement, or even buying that one thing you swore would make your life better. How long did that excitement last? 3 months, maybe less. We humans have a strange habit of outgrowing our own excitement. Neuroscience even backs this up. Our brains are wired to adapt quickly to rewards, and what felt fulfilling yesterday becomes meaningless today. That's why promotions, new gadgets, or milestones never truly satisfy us. Now let's connect this to something most of us experience daily: social media. Endless streams of curated content offer us It's a scroll without an end, always showing you someone richer, fitter, or happier, making you feel like you're missing out. Worse, it conditions you to chase these shallow goals yourself. A study once revealed that even influencers, the very people selling this dream, often feel lonelier than ever because they've replaced genuine human connection with digital validation. The same system that promises connection and joy often leaves us empty and detached. But why? What makes this cycle so inescapable? And more importantly, how do we break free? Let's dig into what philosophers throughout history can teach us about this endless void we all feel. So why does this emptiness exist in the first place? To understand it, we need to turn to one of the most provocative thinkers of history, Friedrich Nietzsche. Nietzsche foresaw this problem over a century ago in his concept of Neoism. He believed that as society moved away from religion and traditional values, we also stripped away the foundations that gave life meaning. Without these anchors, we're left in what he described as a void. And rather than face that void, we fill it with distractions like relentless work, consumerism, and yes, even social media. In Nietzsche's words, God is dead, not as a literal claim, but as a way of saying that the moral frameworks we once relied on to guide our lives no longer hold sway. This leaves us vulnerable to what he called the will to nothingness. That's the urge to fill the emptiness with meaningless pursuits simply because we fear looking inward. But Nietzsche wasn't the only one who saw this coming. Epicurus believed that most people chase what he called empty desires, the endless pursuit of wealth, fame, and power, which only leads to suffering. True happiness, he argued, comes from appreciating the simple joys: connection, reflection, and contentment. Similarly, Søren Kierkegaard, the father of existentialism, explored how people distract themselves from their own anxieties by conforming to societal expectations. He warned that without an authentic purpose, we're left feeling dead inside. Philosophers from different eras had a shared concern. When we look outside of ourselves for meaning, we risk being consumed by the superficial. Think about how these ideas play out today. A young professional spends years chasing a 6-figure salary, but when they achieve it, they find themselves asking, is this it? Or consider the influencer who dedicates their life to followers and brand deals, only to admit that the real connections they need are missing. In both cases, the focus on external achievements leads to the same outcome: emptiness. This emptiness is amplified by the systems we live in today. Platforms like Instagram are designed to show the highlights of someone else's life, leaving us to compare their filtered moments to our raw reality. It's an endless loop of envy and dissatisfaction. Even as you scroll, you'll notice a pattern. There's always another goal to reach, another product to buy, another milestone to compare yourself to, yet none of it ever seems to complete you. Western culture thrives on the idea that fulfillment lies in more money, more followers, more accomplishments. But as Viktor Frankl noted, success, like happiness, cannot be pursued, it must ensue. Our constant striving for material goods and status only pushes fulfillment further out of reach. The US, UK, Canada, and New Zealand are facing epidemics of burnout and loneliness. People work longer hours than ever but feel more disconnected. Paradoxically, technology, which should bring us together, only isolates us further. We can turn to timeless wisdom to break the cycle. Nietzsche believed the answer wasn't to abandon life, but to create meaning. He called this the will to power, using our creative force to overcome emptiness by pursuing a purpose we define for ourselves. For example, this might mean dedicating yourself to mastering a skill, building strong relationships, or contributing to something greater than yourself. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, taught that fulfillment comes from focusing on what you can control: your mind, actions, and virtues. Instead of chasing the superficial, they encouraged us to build resilience and find joy in simplicity. As Aurelius wrote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself." The pursuit of pleasure is not inherently bad, it just needs to be intentional. Epicurus reminded us that the richest pleasures come from meaningful conversation, time spent in nature, and freedom from unnecessary desires. Even in suffering, Frankl believed we could find purpose. He argued that we are free to assign meaning to our lives even when external circumstances feel bleak. So, maybe the real reason you feel empty isn't about what's missing in your life, but what you've been chasing all along. We've been conditioned to believe that happiness lies in the next promotion, the next relationship, or the next like. But ancient philosophers, from Nietzsche to Epicurus, knew better. Fulfillment doesn't come from adding more to your life, it comes from stepping back, finding your purpose, and embracing what truly matters. And here's the paradox: the emptiness you feel might actually be an invitation to strip away the noise, the distractions, and the false promises, and to rediscover your own sense of meaning. Because when you stop running, you might just realize you were enough all along. Now let me ask you, what do you think you've been chasing that isn't serving you? And what would it look like to start finding purpose on your own terms? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your story. If this video sparked something within you, give it a like and don't forget to subscribe for more explorations into life's big questions. Together, let's keep challenging the ideas that define us and build a life worth living.